Hey, Gabriel.
Hey, Gaybros Jose.
Where are we today?
Today we're both in San Francisco.
Oh, yes, we are.
We're actually at a dive bar.
One of the iconic dive bars that we tend to go to. So, yeah, we're back at the scenes.
Right in between my home and your old home.
I had a feeling that this is the first bar that we went together.
Even before the double date with Paul and Paul?
No, I think that was like that double date is when we actually came here. We came here and to Vertigo, and Vertigo already closed. So, effectively, this is the first bar. It's still open.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. Glad to be back. And to celebrate this happy event of going back, we are actually going back to David Cronenberg.
We are. So, this week we watched... I'm guessing, like, I see 1996 and 1997. I'm guessing it was at Cannes in 1996, and released in theaters in 1997. The 1997 Cronenberg film Crash, rated NC-17.
And this was your pick? Why did you pick it again?
I think that we were both reminded that we like Cronenberg after we watched Crimes of the Future, the second one, not the first one.
Yeah, we never was the first one, or at least I never did.
And I watched this in maybe 2005, 2006, and I remember liking it.
Okay, I'm not judging, I'm not saying anything, you don't know if I like it or not.
I have no idea, we haven't discussed this at all.
I only said like multiple times, we need to talk about Crash.
And the first time you texted me, you'd only watched like 15 minutes.
I only watched like 15 minutes and I was like, we need to talk about this, okay? We need to do like a sanity check about this. Yeah, that's a good photograph, like summarizing what this movie is about. And as this was your pick, I guess that I had to summarize it.
Please tell us what this is about.
Okay, let's see if I can summarize it. I don't remember any of the names, so I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. But it is important. I think James Ballard is the name of the main character, who's the name of the guy who wrote the book this is based on.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. All right. It was like autobiographical in any kind of way?
I don't think so. I think they just used the names.
No, that's cool. Yeah. So the movie follows the story of a married couple, that they're in some kind of open marriage arrangement. They even like tell each other who they have sex with, they rate it, they find like arousing on that. The husband is a producer. She's like a training pilot, I think.
She seems like a bored housewife she's getting her pilot's license, but it's not like her job or anything.
No, it's not. It's just weird what she does. And it's never like really well determined. So the husband one day coming back from work gets into an accident. He actually like just drops some stuff on the ground. He jumps into the other side of the highway and crosses the frontal crash against another car. He gets injured. The driver of the other car, that is a doctor, she gets injured, but the husband of the doctor actually dies. He actually just like flies through the windshield. Into the producer car. Yeah. So we jump into the hospital. He's recovering. She's recovering in the hospital. They cross path, and the producer crosses path with James Ballard. Yes. Yeah. There is he's a guy that we don't know exactly what he does, but it's pretty clear.
Oh, you're talking about Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Yeah, it's unclear what he does. He's something in the medical profession.
No, it's not even that, because I think that he asked the doctor, the female doctor, about like, is he a doctor? And he's like, not exactly. There is like a very like vague answer, about it.
He was like a medical photographer or something. Yeah, it's unclear. It's just unclear. Yeah.
So he started like getting looped into a wall of fetishes for crashes and the injuries that it leaves behind. After talking, we actually see a scene about like how they are recreating the James Dean accident that ended his life, but recreating it without any kind of safety measures or anything. It's just throwing a car against each other, the same models.
In Crimes of the Future, he is a performance artist.
Yep.
Obsessed with how technology is changing the human body.
Not even that. It's like he actually does that sentence that it looks like straight from Crimes of the Future, and then he's like, no, I'm joking. It's not that. It's a bit more about like how the body changes in beautiful ways through accidents like this. I think that the gist of it is about like they see accidents, Bond sees accidents as a bit more of a fecundating events, something that it actually just brings life to life, a new life to life.
Yeah, he has some pretentious line where he says that car crashes are germinating events. They're not like I can't think of the language. It was actually nice language, but it's not where things end. It's where things begin. And then there's another line where he talks about how crashes are a release of sexual energy.
That is basically the surgery in Crimes of the Future. So it was like a movie that is this is really clear that is like from the same director. It's like he likes the idea of exploring sexuality and how do you say, transhumanism.
Yes, and the thing that makes this film different is everything is super polished and slick. Like in all of his other like body horror films, it's always very grotesque.
Yeah, this is like we see scars and the lies, but it's never like too grotesque. It's a bit more like realistic. It's like the only thing that it can be a bit grotesque is like some of the how do you say, like the leg. There is not like a fake leg, but it's a bit more like all the kind of
she
wire.
has like a brace on her legs. This is Patricia Arquette. This is her sister.
Oh, Diana Arquette.
Rosanna
Arquette. Yeah. So is that the story actually follows them. They get like more and more involved with the Vaughn, the couple, like the married couple. The doctor is there, then she's not. She doesn't play like too much of a big role.
She's present a lot, and she fucks James a lot.
Yeah, in the car, in a bit more of a public space, in a parking garage, you know. With the
she was more like a plot device to like ease him into the world.
Yeah, exactly. To actually introduce him to Bone, and then just moving from there. But beyond that, it's not important. It's a bit more about like the married couple and Bone, and at the end, it's like the Bone have sex with both of them. Yes,
they
he does.
Sure did.
Yeah, he does. There is this funny scene when the husband is telling the wife about Vaughn while having sex, and she starts telling like, "So do you feel attracted to him? Do you have his penis? Do you want
his
penis
kiss it, or would you just suck it?"
Yeah. Do you want? But I like that they use the word penis multiple times, like non-stop. It's not dick. It's not any other kind of slang. It's like cock. It's like is penis.
I kept thinking, please just say cock. Say cock. Did you see his cock?
No, it's penis. It's penis all the time. It's like it feels like just like doing it on purpose for making it like as awkward as possible. Even like the acting feels like sometimes like pretty awkward. You know, especially like the doctor, it feels like super awkward. But at the end, after having sex like both of them, he starts like hunting them down. They try to. He tries supposedly to get into an accident with them, and he's the one that gets into an accident and dies.
But I think at that point, it's all about it's performative, everything that they're doing. She knows that he's coming for her.
Yeah, it's a bit more like they're in the game with him. And the movie closes with him trying to have an accident with his wife. And she actually gets into an accident, she survives, and she says, I think that I'm okay. He said, well, maybe next time. And the movie closes there.
And then they start to fuck on the side of the road under a car.
Oh yeah. Start like just to fuck there, start like petting, like heavy cuddling kind of thing, and the movie just ends. So, before I say if I like it or not, I brought this up in a work dinner, and there were a couple of looks that they actually told me, we know about this movie, we won't talk about this movie here.
Which is fair in a work environment, but also, I'm impressed your coworkers knew about this film. I don't know anybody that's seen this besides you. Pablo said he saw it, I think he was lying.
Well, it's Cronenberg. I think that he was talking about like the other one, like the Oscar winning movie, best movie Oscar winning.
Terrence Howard, right? He was really good in it.
Oh yeah, it was amazing, you know. Okay, I'm going to say this. I like it. I like it more than Crimes of the Future. I felt like it was more focused into what was the story that it was trying to say. And it was less social commentary, you know, kind of thing. It's a bit more like, hey, this is a fetish going insane. I want to just present a bizarre reality film, more like a hypersexualized David Lynch.
I can see that, and so assuming what you said is true, which I agree with it for the most part, Cronenberg's fascination with this feels more honest as a, hey, we're turned on by our fetishes no matter what they are, and it might lead us to our death.
Yeah.
Versus what he did in Crimes of the Future, which is like, the climate's changing.
Yeah, I think that it tries to do like a bit of social commentary, a bit of craziness kind of topics like happening on parallel, and I feel it's like this doesn't work. You know, it's like it's too much. It's like less focus. It's like for me having like the crazy roommates of Bond in 2 or 3 scenes is like it's fine. They are like other groupies of Bond. It's like Bond is a very charismatic person that is dragging people into a fetish that otherwise they wouldn't have felt attracted to.
So let me just say that I'm shocked that you liked this.
I even like when the doctor, when they get, I think that is when I wrote you, like we have to write about that, when the guy actually flies to the windshield and the first scene with the doctor is actually like just ripping off like his seat. Yeah, that's bizarre, but the kind of look, how they actually look at each other is like, this is a highly sexual kind of mixing something terrible with a desire. And at the end it felt a bit more about like the internal desire of like the primitive self-destructive desire that we have. You know, similar to annihilation but done with more sex and properly.
So of course I read the New York Times review to figure out how I felt about this. I forgot to look, but the review didn't really opened my eyes to anything about the film, so unfortunately I went to the IMDb page and saw all the reviews.
Okay.
And I clicked on the Roger Ebert review.
Oh, nice.
And the written review was actually super interesting. The opening paragraph talks about how he just says, you know that feeling when you're completely drawn to something and you know it's a bad idea and you can't stop yourself?
Yep.
For a lot of people it's bad sexual decisions, but it's also like gambling addicts or shoplifting addicts. They know they shouldn't, but they couldn't help themselves. I thought there's no better way to describe this film. Like they're just attracted to this and they can't help it.
What I was thinking is a bit more like with someone that is like at the border of a precipice, you know, in a cliff or something, and you are like, I shouldn't get closer, but at the same time I want to see like what is the view, like just looking down from there, you know. Is that you are like drawn to that kind of man. It is like from the point that he actually gets into this accident and has like that sexual arousal, is like he's like drawn to it, and Bond is just a facilitator for it. So I felt it's like, this is good. I'm going to be like putting one of the cards on the table. Is like, I have way more respect for Cronenberg after watching this movie. I just feel like this is what Paul Verhoeven aspired but cannot get to do. Bam. And I thought I'm already going to be like giving the answer to one of the questions. If this movie could have been better, yes. If Isabelle Huppert would have played all the roles.
Like men, that same actor, he just plays
exactly.
everything.
She plays everything, male, female. She plays all of it. Like that's like the kind of French deranged woman that I want in this movie. Not that the doctor I felt is like this would have been like better cast. The wife is like this is weird.
I like Elias Koteas. I think that's how you say his name. That's Vaughn. But I feel like he's a cheap imitation of Christopher Maloney. If Christopher Maloney had played that part,
yeah, being more powerful. Yeah. But honestly, I feel it's like, yes, this is how you use sex, not only for the shocking purpose. It's that you just make it like a bit of a. Now I'm connecting to the terrible situation of having an accident. You know, it's like what is beautiful, what is not. It's like it actually is like just becoming a bit more like controversial, not because it's sex on the screen. It's not like Benedetta, like about like, and we're going to be like making a dick out of the virgin.
So I actually on YouTube watched a heated conversation between Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel because they were alive at the time, and they were arguing about whether this was a porno film or not without the eroticism. And Roger Ebert was like, there's no eroticism in this. Like, it's pornography. It's pornographic, but it's not meant to titillate or arouse. It's just showing this very... It's almost like a Hanukkah approach to sex, where it's just, like, clinical, and you understand, like, this person has urges, this person has unhealthy urges, this is just what humans are.
Yeah,
which is scary.
Yeah, for me it was a bit more like the translation of the fascination that they were having about the accidents translating into the sexual desire. So when I was seeing them, even like some of the scenes were a bit long, you know, but it was like, I get it. Even like they were aggressive with Mom in the car. It's like they are aggressive. I want to see that because they want to just portray the aggressiveness associated with a car crash.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, and I agree that showing a desire that is so dangerous that you're willing to die for it because it arouses you, like that's super compelling. So Vaughn essentially kills himself by driving after he's attacking James's wife with his car.
Yeah.
He drives off the bridge. And there was nothing tragic about it. You're just like, this guy died doing what he loved, and it's weird and fucked up. And
well, but the thing is, like, he's really fucked up because he actually crashes against a bus, and we see even like just people. The car gets on fire. We see people like just running away on fire. You know, it's like this is horrifying. But the guys, they don't even like think about it. They almost think about like, this is beautiful. Like the scene when we actually see that they are like slowing down on the highway and he starts like just taking pictures, and it's his friend that he did like the other stand that
James Manfield with like the Chihuahua in the back.
Exactly, yeah.
Or Chihuahua.
Yeah. And he's like, this is gorgeous, this is great. It's like, dude, what did you do with him? For him, like just living or dying is not that important. It's about like that rush, that sexuality, that they turn their lives towards like that single moment of self-destruction.
It's interesting if you think that Crimes of the Future is an extension of some of these ideas.
Yeah.
That David Cronenberg was looking for a way to fulfill these kind of perverse fetishes without dying. So they're like, yeah, we can cut him open and cut his organs out, but he's going to live. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, is that this movie doesn't focus too much about like the pain that you get from it. It focuses on the consequences, the physical consequences about like the guy has like a stumble or anything, but we don't see him like really in pain.
Yeah, now that you say that, like you see Holly Hunter plays the doctor who was in the original car crash, and we see her struggling a little bit in her like physical therapy, but it's not about the pain. It's not about seeing suffering. It's about seeing arousal. And I was actually surprised in the final scene, after the wife has the car crash, James comes, tells her, maybe you'll die next time, and they start to have sex. Like,
Well, it doesn't say, like, maybe you will die next time.
It's heavily inferred.
Well, it says that I'm okay. I think that I'm okay. It's like, it may be, like, dying, or it may be, like, just having, like, a permanent...
Like a disfigurement? Okay, alright, that's fair.
It may be dying, you know, because... I also like just remain with the same kind of question about like, does he want to kill her or does he want to just disfigure her? And maybe she dies. It doesn't matter. But it's about like having something permanent, having something that is like your body gets irremediably changed by these events.
So that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, but I was in shock that I saw actual. I believed the arousal that James had when he started to have sex with her wounded body, and I thought, I'm so confused by what I'm feeling. Like, this is so weird and so let me tell you, I liked the film as well, and I had so much confidence after my viewing in 2006-ish that when I couldn't find a place to stream it anywhere, I just bought the Criterion Collection.
Oh.
And I thought, shit, am I gonna regret this? I mean, it was $20. It's like one round of drinks, but but after I watched it, I was like, I'm glad that I own this. And I also feel like David Cronenberg walked a very fine line between over-the-top ridiculousness and, like, sincere...
Yeah.
Sometimes it went too far into the absurd, and sometimes it was, like, comfortably in the sincere, authentic sort of approach to this.
But I think that it's like, as I was telling you at the beginning, is like, I think that one of the reasons why it works is because it's pretty close to our reality. You know, is that you actually can find a hook there. It's like, hey, this could be like this city. You know, this could be like San Francisco, this could be Chicago, this could be anywhere. You know, and I don't think that they even say what city it is. It may be LA. It has to be LA because it's all about James Dean death.
No, it's somewhere in Canada. I think it's
Toronto?
I read that the location, they don't talk about it in the film, but it's a Canadian.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, he's from Canada in any case. But it plays with the car that David Lynch plays, for example, in Blue Velvet. That is like, half of the stuff that happens there is ridiculous.
He plays in what?
In Blue Velvet. Half of the stuff that happens in Blue Velvet is ridiculous. It makes no sense, but it's like the reason is that you are grounded in reality, so everything that happens, it has like an eerie feeling, an inherent eerie feeling. It's like thinking about like having this community of guys that the only thing that they do is like just crashing cars and just looking for pleasure through self-destruction. It's like, I don't know, like uncanny. It's a bit more of it's out of the reality, but it's so grounded on the reality, the world that we are depicted, that for me it actually works. It was like just super like this. If it had like less sex and it had like more midgets, it could have been directed by David Lynch.
There was actually a really fun review I read.
Sorry, short people.
No, you can say midgets, dwarves. I don't know the PC situations. But there was a fun review I read that drew parallels between this film, where Rosanna Arquette plays a significant role, and Lost Highway, where Patricia Arquette plays a similar role where sex is confused with trauma. Not confused, maybe it's like connected with trauma. And it's like, oh, interesting. Yeah.
No, yeah, maybe she was jealous.
When
because there was a couple of years earlier, no? 95, Lost Highway.
Yeah, I think it was like 94, 95, right?
Yeah.
So she was like, I'm going to work with Cronenberg. Fuck yeah. No, this was an interesting film. I feel like when we answer the questions, it's going to be interesting because this is a rare movie that I liked that I would not recommend, not to jump ahead, but like I don't know anyone I could say, oh, check out Crash.
Okay. Should we go over the questions? Because it looks that we both liked it, we both had like a similar read about it.
Yes, let's do it. So Jose, would you watch this film again?
Yes, I will watch it again.
Resounding yes.
Yes.
How soon?
I will watch it in a month, probably. I mean, I felt like wow, this is so out there, so unique, and I don't feel trolled like with Gaspar Noé, like making like a porn movie. I don't feel manipulated like Lars von Trier. I just feel like this is a cool idea and a decent execution. So I would like to watch it again, just knowing where it's going to go, like from the beginning.
Do you know how long the film was?
I think it's 2 hours.
Is it? Because it felt like a breeze. Like it ended so fast for me.
I mean, as I was traveling, I couldn't watch it like just in a single sitting, so I had to split it, So it felt like a bit longer for me, but I could see actually myself, like just from the beginning to the end, like just paying attention to it.
If my husband wanted to watch this, not tonight, but tomorrow, I would watch it again, for sure. Like right now.
Yeah. I may actually just watch it with my boyfriend,
Oh, so John has not seen it?
No.
I want you to watch it with him, but just record him the entire time.
Like his face, like looking at me like, what the fuck?
Alright, so we already kind of touched on this. Would you recommend this?
This is a tough question. Because, as I was mentioning, I brought it up in a work dinner and I regretted it immediately. I think that it's a good movie. I think that it's an interesting movie. I think that it's like one of those movies that it needs to exist. It's interesting that it exists. It tells something that no other movie... Well, Titane maybe talks about this a bit. Titane, like the one that won Cannes last year. That it also talks a bit about like the fascination of the accident and the transformation of the human body through that, but I think there's a bit more fantasy than this. But I'm not sure who I recommend it to. I would want to recommend it, but I don't know who to. So I'm going to go with yes.
You okay? All right.
Not to my parents. I'm making an exception. My parents, they're not going to be watching this. My family won't know that I watched this movie. If they ever ask me, I'm going to hesitate. Did you watch a movie called Crash? He said, oh, you mean like the Oscar-winning movie? And when I say like no, I mean like the Canadian directed movie. I'm going to be like, why?
So I'm going to say no. I agree with you. This is a great film. It's important that it exists. I don't know that it could be made today, but I can't imagine a situation where I would be like, dude, you need to watch Crash. Will you remember this?
I think so. I don't think that I'm going to remember like all of the details, but I'm going to remember like the general story.
I remembered enough that there weren't any surprises, but I didn't remember the exact details. But I would say yes. I remember this overall.
No, that's fair.
Is there anything artistic about this?
Yes. I think that visually, and the thing is like the style feels a bit. This is like the only thing that I feel is that the style feels from a different time. It really feels 90s.
Very 90s.
Extremely.
But not while being timely. I do believe this is timeless, but it's so 90s. It's so 90s.
Yeah, there is like something about like the style that is directed, but I love like the cars. Like the car scenes when they are driving, It's like, okay, of course, it's like super staged whatsoever, but it works to me.
Were you, we might be going off on a tangent, were you aroused at any point during this film?
No.
Me neither.
You can say yes. I mean,
No. There was one scene I was absolutely aroused, and it was the scene you mentioned where James is fucking his wife.
Yeah.
And she's talking about the...
But the thing is that she was narrating. She was like basically... I love like the acting is like purposefully awkward at some point.
Oh, yeah.
She's like just saying, like, so do you want his penis? Do you want it in his mouth? Do you want it in your ass? Do you want it in your anus? I think that is...
Do you want to just stick it up right up there in his anus?
Yeah, everything is the terms that you're using is just for making this scene even more awkward.
But what I found arousing is that he found all of that dirty talk arousing, and then he had sex with Vaughn.
We don't know what happened exactly.
He got on all fours. I think we know what happened.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Would you turn this into a TV show?
Oh, we don't go over like the timeless?
Oh, sorry. I filled those in because I assumed I knew your answer. Is this a timeless piece?
Yes, I think so. It's pretty 90s how it was shot, you know? But I think that the topic itself, as you said, is like, I don't know if this could be remade today. Maybe that should be a question for some movies. If this could be remade today, it's like maybe Gaspar Noé tries to do a remake of this, and he makes it unapologetically French, and they go on scooters with baguettes. But beyond that, no.
So I think this is a timeless piece. Yes, there are things that make it uniquely 90s, but the themes are absolutely timeless. It's about like a fatalistic attraction to something that can be self-destructive.
Yep.
So I wanted to go back to would you recommend this? And we both said we can't think of a...
No, but I said yes.
You said yes, but we couldn't think of a situation where we would. Do you think this is a situation where we were similar to where we didn't think anyone would be open to Gaspar Noé films, but then when we started to talk about it, lots of people were like, oh, I saw Climax.
Oh, yeah. If someone tells me I know of Gaspar Noé, and I like Irreversible, I would say, like, just watch this. Not because I think that it's the same movie, but I think the kind of person they are. I know the kind of person that they are.
It's the type of, like, incendiary...
Exactly.
Okay, so would you turn this into a TV show?
No. I cannot think of any way of making this work as a TV show. Not even like just giving an episode to each one of the characters, because there are like a lot of characters that they are not like 100% developed. But not even with that. I don't think that it would actually just help convey the point in any better way.
I agree. I wouldn't turn this into a TV show. I feel like 2 hours was enough time in this world. No, like an HBO miniseries, absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah.
Do you think this movie could be better? Your answer was yes.
My answer was yes. Isabelle Huppert, all the roles. That's it. Done. Bam. No, but jokes aside, the acting was a bit weird, you know, and I know that it feels like he purposefully made it like a bit awkward and everything. The style was a bit too 80s. You know, that is, I think that this could have been better. But, you know, overall, it's good. I don't think that it actually detracts from the overall product.
So, my answer is also yes, this could have been better. And the only complaint I have is that I genuinely feel he could have used some help with some of the more cheesy dialogue. Oh, yeah. Like that, after Vaughn does the performance of James Dean's final car crash, he has the speech about, like, oh, was I too much about being immortal? Like, I feel like a good copywriter could have just made that more natural, but maybe he wasn't going for natural. But yes, I would have worked on the dialogue.
Yeah, I don't think that he goes for natural in most of his scripts. I don't know if that, like, if I haven't watched, like, the ones that they are more grounded in reality. You know, like A Story of Violence or Cosmopolis.
Cosmopolis is not grounded in reality, but A History of Violence, absolutely.
It is. Okay. So I think that he was not going for it, because if you compare with Crime or of the Future, there are like plenty of cheesy quotes, like one-liners. Yeah. A lot of them, that they actually become almost like gods. And I think that they may be like part of the motifs that he likes about like just making characters like big in a way that it feels like a parody of himself, about like how we create like prophets and role models that they are a joke. Yep. So that part I'm fine, because as I was telling you, the acting is awkward. It's like he goes for that. So
All right. Well, we answered all the questions. So before we score it, I would like you to tell me what you remember.
Oh, nice.
Oh shoot! I just lost it. I want you to tell me what you remember about the killing of two lovers.
I like that movie. I love the opening scene. I love the opening scene that is just no voices whatsoever, and the husband is actually going to the wife that they are separated to actually just kill her, even with the gun in front of her. And then while the lover is on the shower, and she's like just hesitating, we don't know exactly what is going on or anything, and then he goes away. That scene is like I love it. I know that I like that movie way more than you did, if I recall correctly.
You gave it an 8. I gave it a 7.
Oh, okay, so not that much.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it follows like the story of the husband, like with the kids, they are separated right now. The lover of the wife is a bit of an asshole, and at the end he shows that he's a complete asshole, but he's a creep. I mean, he was almost about to kill her, and this is like in the middle of Indiana. Some like some states, just in case that there is some listener from those states. But no, I remember like most of it. At the end, they actually, spoiler alert, they go back together after he gets his ass kicked by the lover. And I was like, oh my god, now I feel sorry for him. He may be an asshole, but the other one is a bigger asshole, so I'll go back with my original asshole.
You remember way more about that film than I do, and I liked it.
Yeah, no, I like it a bit more than you. Should we score then?
We should. So this was my pick. This is you to score first.
My score is going to be an 8. 8.0.
8.0.
Yeah.
All right.
I debated between 7.5 and 8.0. I just think that it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's like I give him points for just like boldness and just make me feel that Paul Verhoeven is the joke that I know he is.
Okay, we're not going to pay attention to that. My score is actually an 8 as well, which is interesting because I think you like this film a little bit more than me, but based on my own scoring paradigm, 7.5 is like a good film, and this is a little bit better than a good film, so 8 for me.
For me, it's like an 8 is just achieving greatness, but it's like not being able, I think that it's just being so sexual, I just had the feeling that there is nothing wrong with that, but I just feel it's hard to recommend. It's a way to actually like just bold in the ideas that it presents, that it makes it like a bit more like controversial. There is nothing wrong with that per se, but it just puts me off a bit.
But I like that it was sexual without being titillating or erotic. Like it was like, hey, humans have sex.
Oh yeah, this is not love.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to arouse me, even though it did one scene.
But it was because of the talk, and it was like gay talk.
Yeah, it was the gay talk, absolutely. I'm pleasantly surprised by this film. I think I'm a little bit more critical of it now as a person in the last half of their lives. But I liked it, and I'm glad I own it.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think that is a really good buy that you did. I'm almost tempted on buying it also.
Now I'm just going to leave it on my coffee table so people come over and they'll be like, what's this? And I'll be like, oh no, this isn't for you. This is not for you.
It's not the Oscar-winning crush. It's the other crush. It's the good one. So for next one, I haven't told you what we're going to be watching.
Yeah, not at all.
So the other day I was watching with my boyfriend A Clockwork Orange, and we were talking about it, and that actually reminded me that some time ago, after watching Eyes Wide Shut, we said like we should watch more movies by Kubrick. So we're going to be watching The Shining.
All right, I'm excited.
Yeah?
I remember liking that movie.
Yeah, and I think that
I thought you were going to say Barry Lyndon. And I was like, no.
No. What is the other one? The Killing? Yeah.
The Killing is like his first feature-length film from like 1950 or something.
Yeah. I mean, and they're not bad, but it's like
That's a good movie.
I don't think that his style is so defined as later because they so polished as it actually, like it's. But in any case, we haven't recorded too much about horror movies, and I really like The Shining, and it has been like 3-4 years since the last time that I watched it, so I'm curious to just watch it again.
Can't wait.
All right. To everyone listening, thank you so much.
Wash your hands. There's a new variant.
Oh, there's a new one?
Yep, and it's crazy.
Oh, it's called that? It's crazy.
It's crazy. That's the official scientific name.
Okay, take care. Be careful. Bye.